So a lot of people are walking around with unregulated nervous systems, whether that has to do with personal stress, environment that could also be stressful. When it comes to just mindlessly being on these apps, I can't do it. I refuse to do it. As much as we think like we need to be attached to our phones and that we're going to miss out on something, or we need to be available whenever someone's calling us, like that's not true. Look where we are, okay? If you are living in the United States of America, you have every right to have a fucked up nervous system. Welcome to Let's Just Be Real with me, your host, Marissa Tong. I'm a multi-passionate creative entrepreneur who's on a journey to create my dream life in a world where adulting just gets too real sometimes. On this podcast, we talk about all things beyond surface level to leave you feeling inspired to think bigger, unapologetically prioritize your self-care, and discover your true, authentic self. Think of me as your unfiltered but wise auntie who just wants the best for all of us. So grab your journal or maybe a glass of wine and let's get real. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I am your host, Marissa Tong. Thank you for tuning in to another episode this week. Happy Thursday. I hope that you guys are doing well, taking care of yourselves, putting yourself first, taking care of your body, doing all the things that we need to do to survive these crazy times. I hope you guys are feeling all right, okay? So this week we are jumping back into the show. Last week we did not have an episode. I was actually celebrating my 1-year anniversary living in San Diego, so I decided to take the week off from podcasting and to just do some things, spend some time outside in nature, explore a little bit. So we took the week off, but we are back. And if you guys don't know, episodes are now going to be coming out on Thursdays. Okay, Thursday, Jupiter Day. We're trying something new for 2026. I feel like I've changed the podcast release date a couple times since we started the show, which is okay. I'm allowed to change my mind. I literally am the person recording, editing, producing this podcast, so I definitely get to change my mind. When we first started the show, if you guys remember, we were doing Tuesdays, and then we moved over to, actually we were doing Tuesdays and Fridays. So that was back in the day. I don't know how I was putting out 2 episodes a week. I really don't, because nowadays I'm like, 1 episode? We're going to keep this at 15 minutes? Like, cool. But yeah, so when we started the show, I think I was just very excited. I had a lot of energy. I had a lot of time on my hands. I was also operating my business full time at that moment in time. So I was able to really put my time and energy into everything that I was doing, all of my creative projects. But a lot has changed since then. So we are now doing 1 episode a week. I would love to maybe one day in the future, if I bring on an editor, to be able to go back to 2 episodes. Before we were doing 1 solo, 1 guest episode, which was pretty cool, but I honestly have taken a step back from booking so many guests. It was also time consuming of being the one to book the guests, schedule the guests, meet up with the guests, set up the room. It was a lot. It was really a lot. Hence why I was completely burned out by the time I was ready to leave Jersey, and just all of last year completely burned out just from all of the work that I was putting in for the past 2-3 years specifically. So now we are working sustainably. We're focused on how we can show up in a way that's still consistent and high quality. Quality matters to me. I'm going to always be over here with the lights, the aesthetics, the camera, making sure my mic sounds crispy and clean, all of that. So quality over quantity. That's literally the motto. So we are sticking with Thursdays. We're seeing how that goes. That also gives me a little extra buffer time throughout the week to really prepare for the show and think about what I want to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about nervous system regulation. And I know this can be a very trendy topic, right? Everyone's talking about the nervous system, regulating, right? Feeling at peace, feeling safe. But this isn't just a trendy conversation or topic. And I think the reason that it might be so trendy is because honestly, a lot of people's nervous systems are shot. A lot of people are walking around super anxious, not feeling safe. I mean, look around, like, look where we are. Okay. If you are living in the United States of America, you have every right to have a fucked up nervous system. Like, there is just a lot going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. And this isn't a podcast where we come on and like instill fear in people and we talk about like the worst that's happening. I barely talk about things that are happening like on the news or politically, but we have to be honest at some point. Like, this show is called Let's Just Be Real. And I wouldn't be real if I didn't address the real concerns and the real things that are happening to real people in this world, specifically when we're talking about Minnesota, when we're talking about ICE, right? There are a bunch of scary things happening right now. There are a lot of things happening that should not be happening. There are a lot of things happening that are affecting a lot of people, a lot of innocent people, a lot of people who have no criminal record, people who are citizens of this country, people that were born here. So for us to have a blind eye, I went on like a mini rant on Threads, and honestly, I'm going to give it to Aquarius season. I'm Aquarius rising. And if you guys know anything about the sign of Aquarius, we are for the people. Aquarius is for the people. We're going to be the ones to talk about things that no one else wants to talk about. Okay. Pluto is also an Aquarius. And right now, like, it is a time of revolution. It is a time to speak up. Anyone who is not speaking up, anyone who's silent, anyone who's complicit right now during this time, you have to ask yourself why. Like, is it that you're scared? Is it that you are afraid that people are going to judge you for having an opinion or morals? So I just wanted to bring that up when it comes to the topic of nervous system regulation, okay? Because we're not just throwing words out there and talking about, oh, like, I just need to heal my nervous system because I'm so stressed. Well, what are you stressed about? You're stressed, but like, you don't care about real problems happening in this world. So like, what's so stressful for you? But anyway, I digress. I just needed to have that little rant. But honestly, y'all. Okay, before we get too real into this conversation, I want to interrupt by inviting you to a very special event happening in 2026. I'm so excited to announce the Soul and Senses retreat in Bali, Indonesia. If you've been craving a reset, the kind that nourishes your body, calms your mind, and reconnects you to your purpose, then let me personally invite you to my retreat, Soul and Senses in Bali, happening April 7th to the 13th in 2026. We'll spend 6 nights in 2 luxury hotels in Seminyak, which is a beautiful, lively beach city. And then we'll spend 3 nights in Ubud, which is the jungle. It's spiritual, it's sacred, it's the place where you can really connect with your soul. We'll be surrounded by palm trees, soul-aligned women, and the most beautiful energy that you've ever felt. You'll experience dance, somatic movement, deep stretching on a daily basis, healing and grounding practices, jungle excursions and private cultural tours, meditations, journaling workshops, and spiritual connection. There are plenty of nights where you can have fun and plenty of nights to also unplug. If you're feeling like, low key and you don't feel like going out, that's okay too. Our retreats are meant to help you follow your intuition and really give your body what it's craving at the time. It's safe, it's sacred, and it's exactly what you didn't know you needed. Spots are limited for this retreat and it's going to sell out. So if you're ready to reconnect with yourself in paradise, definitely make sure you go to our website. It's linked in the show notes. Or you can send me a DM saying Bali on Instagram and I'll send you the link to register. This is not just a vacation, it's a soul shifting experience. So if you're ready to step into the next version of yourself and connect with yourself on a deeper level while being in one of the most beautiful places on earth, then I invite you to book today and I'll see you there. So a lot of people are walking around with unregulated nervous systems, whether that has to do with personal stress, right? Environment that could also be stressful. It could be you not feeling safe, whether that's, again, your environment or just within your body, in your relationship, with your finances, financial stability, right? Like all of these things that kind of put us into survival mode. Those are the things that are attributing to how our nervous system is feeling, right? So if we're constantly on edge, if we're constantly feeling like we need to fight for our lives, right? We're not going to feel regulated. Okay. So when we talk about the nervous system, literally think about the nerves in your body, right? You ever hear someone say, like, my nerves are shot? When your nerves are shot, it means that your nerves are having this reaction that is not allowing you to tune in with your breath, right? It's not allowing you to really tune in with your body. You're probably primarily in your mind, right? So you're allowing the things going on in your mind to now affect your nerves. And that's where like people start fidgeting, right? They're shaking their leg, right? I used to do that a lot, shaking my leg. Now I tend to, like, if I'm anxious, I'll like play with my rings, or I'll like play with my hair. So all of those things, it's very important that we have this self-awareness to be able to detect when we are feeling a little bit out of whack, when we are feeling on edge, or that our nerves are all over the place, right? So, I want to talk today about some ways that we can regulate, some ways that we can feel grounded, calm, safe, at peace, right? And sometimes you're not always going to feel this way, right? Like, you literally have to show up and do this work. You literally have to create habits, routines. You have to put these things into your daily life, right? Like, these things need to become part of your life in order for you to feel good in your body, good in your life. So, I'm going to talk about some ways that I help myself stay regulated, which again is not like an everyday thing as far as me feeling completely safe, regulated. Like, I've definitely struggled with anxiety up and down, at different levels over the years. I have been in therapy for the past, when did I start therapy? 2021. So almost going on like 5 years on and off. I've been in therapy as well. But honestly, when it comes to like the nervous system, it has a lot to do with you feeling safe in your body. I'm going to just say that you feeling safe in your environment, you getting out of your head, you releasing the fears, right? The fears, the overthinking, the ruminating, the worst case scenario. Those are all things that contribute towards anxiety and us not feeling good. So let's dive into it. So I might have talked about this before on like previous episodes. We definitely have episodes talking about just like fitness or movement or like healthy habits, things like that. But today we're going to focus primarily on the things that are going to help us to feel regulated. So number one for me is going to be 10K steps a day minimum. Okay. This can be a goal as it pertains to physical activity. However, the reason for needing those 10K steps is to make sure that we are staying active, right? And not just active to like make sure that I'm staying thin. Like, yes, that's part of it, right? Like we wanna be cute. Okay. We wanna maintain our body. But for me, 10K steps means that like I am moving, I'm active during the day, like I'm on my feet. I'm not just sitting still. I'm not just laying in bed. I'm not just sitting down the entire day, right? And I think what helps us to stay out of that state of dysregulation is to make sure that we are doing things, that we are active. And for me specifically, you might live in a different area where maybe like walking is not accessible to you, or right now it could be snowing, if you're living on the East Coast. But for me, I mean, one of the reasons I moved, it was so that I could have more access to nature and be outside. So having those 10K steps, half of those steps are usually going to be outside. So outside of the time that I'm walking, in the house or at work, whatever, I want to make sure I'm getting the majority of those steps outdoors. So the first thing I'm doing when I wake up, taking my dog outside, we are going on at least a 20 to 30-minute walk. I'm probably going to get at least like maybe like 4K steps in that walk, maybe 5. So that's going to be number one for me, right? And then that could be, you make your choice. Is that going to be with headphones, music, podcasts, or silence? To be honest, I think silence can be a little bit more grounding. I think it allows us to be more present, especially if you're able to hear like birds chirping or just like the sound of nature, the wind blowing, whatever. But again, that's up to you if you feel more comfortable walking with headphones, whatever. But I think just like walking in general is definitely one of those ways that can help us to stay regulated. Okay, number 2 for me is going to be meditation, which we talked about so much on this podcast before. I think I have maybe like 2 or 3 episodes dedicated to talking about meditation, especially during like the earlier stages of the podcast, like episode 2, maybe. I don't really remember, but that was like when I was just kind of getting into my meditation habit, I guess you could say. So with meditation, for me, I try to do this like before I get out of bed, if anything. And for some people that might not work because you could still be tired, right? I like to pop in headphones. I'll put on guided meditation, or I'll put on some binaural beats. I'll put on some high frequency music, depending on like what frequency I'm trying to be on. It could be a love frequency, it could be an abundance frequency, but regardless, I'm making sure that I'm carving out at least 15 minutes, at least, right? Like 30 minutes, sweet spot. If we can do it, great. If we have the time, but 15 minutes is perfect. So the point of meditation, right? It's not just for you to get into this state of like, oh, I need all these answers to come from God and I need to get all these downloads. Like, no, you're literally taking the time to either be in silence or just to be in stillness, right? To focus on your breath, to make sure that you are breathing, and to try to release as many thoughts as possible. And people who meditate, they know that like it's not always going to be possible to clear your mind, especially if you do have so many thoughts going on, if you do have like so many things on your to-do list, right? Like it's not always going to be possible. So the goal is not to just like empty your mind, empty your thoughts. If you're able to get there, that's great. But I think the importance is going to be being still, slowing down the body, being in one place at one time. Again, connecting to your body, connecting to your breath, right? Connecting to your spirit, whatever that looks like for you. But meditation is proven to be one of the most effective ways to regulate our nervous system. So if you haven't gotten into meditation, you definitely might want to start small with like 5-minute meditations, 10-minute meditations. Guided meditations are great. I have a few with myself on my website, World Rhythm Dance and Fitness, so you guys can go check that out. I also have a few on Insight Timer. So if you guys have ever heard of Insight Timer, it's a website where people can upload their meditations, and people who are part of the website or like members, they can listen to these meditations. I've gotten some nice reviews, so that's been really nice. And a goal for me this year is to continue uploading meditations and getting back into recording those consistently. So you guys can go check that out if you're interested. Are you ready to dance, sweat, and level up your confidence, all from the comfort of your own home? Well, guess what, baddie? Our online dance and fitness classes are officially live. This means no matter where you are in the world, you can tap into our signature energy, real vibes only. As a member, you get 24/7 access to dance tutorials, full body workouts, stretch sessions, and our growing library of most requested combos. We have over 100 plus videos on demand, so you can do them whenever you want. Oh, and it gets better. Every membership includes a full Rhythm and Pumps Heels Fundamentals course with 10 powerful modules designed to help you feel 10 times more confident dancing in heels or without. So if you're ready to build your skill, your strength, your self-love, your confidence, get into our on-demand programs and memberships. We have 2 memberships available, and you can choose them based on your budget or based on your current goals. You can join Rhythm and Pumps, which starts at only $19.99 a month. This is for the girl who's trying to get into her heels bag, okay? 24/7 access to all of our heels combos, all of our training modules, and choreo sessions. Again, that Fundamentals 101 course is going to be key to starting your heels journey, girl. You also get access to our community group online, so you can hype each other up. You can get notified when we drop new tutorials and all that good stuff. Plus, you're going to get flexibility in core training. Our second membership is our Real Rhythm Unlimited membership. Now, this is our most popular, okay? It is premium and it's only $10 more than Rhythm and Pumps. You get all access training, so workouts on demand with or without weights. You get access to various dance classes and choreo tutorials, including hip hop, heels, and commercial pop, guided meditations with myself, affirmations, all that mindset work that you need to feel your best from the inside to the out. And you also get access to our online community and exclusive live streams every single month. So if this sounds like something you're trying to get into, I invite you to check out our online memberships by heading over to www.realrhythmdanceandfitness.com and check out the special promo code in the show notes for Let's Just Be Real podcast listeners only. You're welcome, and I'll see you online. Okay, so number 3 for me is going to be keeping my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now, I understand that this is not for everybody. Everybody's not able to do this, especially if you have kids, especially like if your kids are in school, or you might just need to be available for people to reach out to you, right? For me, I'm a single girly. I don't have kids. Like I have a lot of people, yes, reaching out to me, but I always tell people like the best way to contact me is via email, right? That allows me to not have this sense of urgency to always like respond right away or be on my phone right away or get all these notifications to my phone right away. That does not help anyone's nervous system. Like, as much as we think like we need to be attached to our phones and that like we're going to miss out on something or we need to be available whenever someone's calling us, like that's not true, you know? And like a lot of us, we're not putting our phones down enough throughout the day. We're not putting our phones down enough. So for me, I do a lot of work on my phone, on social media. I'm on Substack, I'm on Threads, right? I'm on all these social apps. I do a lot of things on my phone. I'm constantly like going through my photos. I get Gmail to my phone. I get emails to my phone, right? So if I'm constantly seeing all these notifications popping up, right? That's now causing me to split my energy, right? Split my attention span. So if I'm trying to focus on one thing, whether that's like writing, editing, accounting, whatever, all of the 1,000 tasks that I have on a daily basis, if I am constantly getting notifications to my phone, I would never get anything done, right? And my attention span, right, is just going to be split. Every time I get a notification, my phone's lighting up. I'm going to my phone. I'm seeing who's texting me. So I realized years ago that I can't live like that. So to be honest, like my phone is on Do Not Disturb 90% of the time. The only time I'll take it off is if I'm expecting a call or if I know like someone's going to reach out to me and I don't want to miss the notification, whatever, or it's just a period where I'm like, okay, people might be trying to call me or whatever the case, right? I'll take it off every now and then. But people know if you need to reach me, you call twice. And the people who I'm usually in contact with, so like close friends, my family, like obviously they are an exception, so they don't get the D&D treatment. Like their notifications come straight through right away. So there are ways around that. So if you're thinking like, oh my God, like how's your friend and family going to reach you? They're on the exception list. Okay. So they can reach out. They're my favorites. So they don't get those notifications that my phone is in Do Not Disturb. But if you're able to, I think this is a great way to focus your energy. If you're having trouble, like really detaching from your phone, detaching from social media, you always feel this need to like respond to people right away and read messages right away. I think that like turning your phone on Do Not Disturb or turning your notifications off is really going to be helpful. And this is going to bring me into number 4, which is keeping yourself off social media. Okay, so for me, again, I work a lot on social media. Social media is work for me. So I run about 5 Instagram accounts. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how, child, okay? I don't want to talk about it. But I run 5 Instagram accounts. So the time that I am on social media, like I have had to reframe and change my relationship with these apps so much. So I'm not on there like scrolling. I'm barely watching people's stories. I'm barely seeing people's content on my feed, to be honest. Like, I'm not scrolling like that. I'm just not engaged. I just don't have the time. And I will engage occasionally. I will watch a few people's stories. Most of the time I end up seeing that it's somebody's birthday and I end up saying happy birthday to them. So that makes me feel like, okay, this is a good engagement. Like, this was good today. But when it comes to just mindlessly being on these apps, I can't do it. I refuse to do it, especially with TikTok. I'm active on TikTok. I have 2 TikTok accounts, one for my personal and one for my business. I literally only go on TikTok to post. You will not see me scrolling on TikTok. I barely see what other people are posting. If I do, it's just because that was like the first or second video to pop up when I open the app. So, all of this talk about like, oh, you need to engage, you need to like people's stuff, you need to be commenting on people's stuff, you need to be constantly in communication. No, thank you. No, thank you. I unsubscribe. I don't want to live that way. I'm so sorry. There are so many other things outside of social media that I want to put my time and energy into. For instance, writing. Writing is a big, 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 big writing is something that I want to continue to put my time and energy into. I want to continue building my skill, my craft. I want to eventually write a book. If not this year, the next year. It will probably happen this year, to be honest. But I just don't have time. So, when we're thinking about our nervous system, like, think about how you feel when you log off of social media. Like, if you are noticing that you're not feeling good, that you are comparing yourself, that you are beating yourself up about what you don't have, what you didn't do, who you didn't communicate with, what you don't have the same access to, all of these things, like, it's not helping you to regulate. You probably do not feel regulated when you close the app. And that's a sign that you need to get your ass off. Okay. So whatever that means for you, setting timers around the time that you're using social media, or just checking your usage. How long was I on these apps today? Oh, 3 hours. Is that necessary? Could I bring that down to 1 hour and put 2 hours into my craft, or 1 hour into meditation and walking, split that time up? Right? But we need to start thinking about, like, where's my time going? And like, are these things that I'm putting my time into, are they making me feel anxious, shitty, and dysregulated? So the last one that I'm going to bring up is setting reminders on your phone for affirmations, reminders to breathe. So me specifically, I have reminders set up on my phone that will go off at certain angel number times. So like 1111, 222, 333, and they'll all be like different reminders, like breathe, or everything's working out for you, or money flows to you easy. Just, they could be anything that you want, just like little notes to yourself that are gonna bring you back to yourself, ground you, help you to realize that like everything's okay, everything's safe, right? Like, whatever it is that you need to tell yourself to bring yourself back into your body, right? That is a perfect way to set yourself up, right? So that's something you can do. It takes literally like a minute to set up in your alarms. So I would highly suggest. I hope that you guys found this episode helpful today, and I hope you guys are feeling ready to just get into your body, feel good, okay? We are not walking around anxious and sad and not feeling good in our bodies this year, okay? So let's work on that. Let's tackle it right away. So if you love the show, make sure you guys leave a rating and review on Spotify, Apple, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Respect Kitty. Let's just be real pod. And we'll see you in another episode. Take care, y'all. Bye.